Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Stavakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmaswarupine Stavakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmaswarupine Avatara varishtaya Ramakrishna te namaha. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor ma mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme Incarnate, who came to establish universal religion. Let us pray to him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We have been studying Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna is pointing out to all the spiritual seekers the ways to reach the spiritual abode, how to be spiritual, how to practice spirituality. The whole Gospel is full of spiritual instructions. In the last 3 classes we have discussed the topic God can be seen. Today's topic I have chosen, waste no more time. We are very efficient in wasting things and more efficient in wasting time. Idle gossiping, oversleeping, and like that. Swami Brahmananda ji, in his eternal companion, he warned, look, life is flowing by like a river. The day that is done does not return. Blessed is he who uses his time fruitfully. Through many good deeds in many past lives, you have been born as a human being. Make this human birth blessed by worshipping the Lord, by meditating on him. Acharya Shankar has clearly stated in Vivekananda, human birth, desire for liberation, and association with the holy. Only through God's grace may we obtain these 3 rarest advantages. And Swami Brahmananda ji, referring to this, tells the disciples, through Sri Ramakrishna's grace, you have all these 3. Human birth you have got desire for liberation, you have got association with the holy. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, when you go to a temple in order to visit the deity, you will never see it if you spend your time doling out alms to the beggars, engaging yourself in chatting and talking. We must push through the crowd, enter the temple, worship the deity. That's the first priority. Seeing the deity first and foremost. Then you may do whatever you please. Time is flying. Brahmanji says again, waste no more time. For at most you have only another 3 or 4 years in which to struggle intensively. After that your body and mind will grow weak and infirm, and your efforts will be limited. So you must undertake spiritual disciplines when you are having full vigor, when you are healthy physically, mentally. In another place, Swami Brahmanji says, all these quotations I am referring to the spiritual teachings of Swami Brahmananda. In one place, Swami Brahmanji says, nonsense. It's a mistake to think that you cannot meditate for lack of time. The real cause is restlessness of mind. Life, like a stream, is ebbing fast away. The day that is once gone can never be recalled. Make the best use of your time. If you leave it till the last moment, it will be too late then to cry. Alas, alas. Time waits for no man. Choose now. Waste not another moment. Try to mold your mind in such a way that you will not think of anything but God. Those who complain of lack of time or suitable place can never make any progress in this life. So we must be watchful about what we are doing, what we are thinking, in what way we are engaging ourselves. It is very important. Don't wait for another person to point out. You yourself can point out your own weaknesses and try to overcome them sincerely. Sincerity, steadfastness, and seriousness. These 3 are very essential to make progress in spiritual life. Another direct disciple, Swami Chidananda ji, says about this topic, waste no more time. Swamiji says, just as every work has its purpose and time, you should also have an appointed time for calling on God. Don't be careless. Don't give any reasons. At that time you should think of God and commune with Him, even though you may have 101 things to attend to. These are the words of Swami Chidananda. They are all extremely great souls. Each one is a realized one. Each one had tremendous training from Sri Ramakrishna. So, these words are not empty words, full of meaning and significance and teachings they have to us. Sometimes the devotees would ask question. Formerly I used to do that meditation and prayer a great deal. but of late I have not been able to find the time. So I do it for just a little while. Swamiji replied, that's fine. But however little time you devote to meditation, do it with great earnestness and love. Earnestness and love. These are all spiritual virtues. Even if you practice only 5 or 10 minutes, do it with your whole heart and soul. God is Antaryamin, the inner controller dwelling within. He judges by your heart. He sees how much devotion you have, not the amount of time you spend on meditation. You may be sitting 3 hours, but God knows out of 3 hours how much your mind was thinking about Him and how much about other things. Devotee said, Sir, I wish I could do more, but I can't make time. Every morning and evening, when I try to meditate, I have a feeling of great joy, so much joy that I do not feel like leaving my seat. But the pressure of work forces me to do so. Swamiji replied, well, that is something which is beyond your control. But mentally practice remembrance of the Lord. He dwells within and knows the earnestness of your heart. These are the indications. Earnestness and sincerity. Have a fixed time for your spiritual practice, for that is the source of all strength and power. It will not do if you belittle it, devoting less time to it. Another direct disciple, Swami Chidananda has said, after Swami Vivekananda's lecture on Vedantism had been read, his words have melted away into the air. With all your enunciation and your learning, what have you been doing? Days are passing, but you are simply vegetating. Whoever feels or says, as the Master did at the end of each day, O Mother, the day is gone, yet I have not seen thee. You are damp, spiritless and inactive. Do you not feel your blood wax hot when you read the words of Swamiji? Who is living dead? He who is effortless. He who is effortless is considered as dead, though he is living. You are 27 years old. Swamiji said that he had achieved everything by his 29th year. By 29th year he had achieved the spiritual goal of realizing Brahman. Live in the present. Make the best of your time and opportunities. Don't waste your time in useless and idle talk and worthless criticism of others. You are damaging your own personality doing such things. Instead of going forward, you will be going backward in your spiritual path. Live in the present. Make the best of your time and opportunities. Don't think of the future. Think of the present. And be active, alert, sincere, and make your efforts. Another Swamiji, Swami Vivekananda, he said, why should you say you do not get enough time to devote yourself to meditation and japa? You can always have your time for it. You can practice meditation and japa even as you walk on the road. How true it is. I myself am experiencing. That's why I always insist upon. Let me walk alone. Not that I don't like company. The idea is I can think of Master while walking. So that whole 1 hour time, whatever time you walk, it is best utilized in thinking of Sri Ramakrishna. It is possible. That means you are making use of the time which otherwise would have gone wasted. There was once a disciple of a guru who went to his guru and said, Guruji, I want to live a spiritual life. I want to live in the service of God. I want to go beyond the binding chains of this mundane materialistic world. Nice, but I feel that I am not quite ready. My desires for a family, for wealth and pleasures are still too strong. So please grant me some time to fulfill these wishes, and then I will come to your holy feet. Watch his statement carefully. What is asking for by the Guru? Grant me some time to fulfill these wishes, and then I will come to your holy feet. The Guru was an illumined soul. He was not an ordinary person. So he knew how to deal with this disciple. He said, no problem, my child. No problem at all. Don't worry. Go, get married, have a family, and earn wealth. Do all these things as you wanted. You wanted some time to do, is it not? Take all this. Utilize the time for these things. In 10 years, I'll come back for you. My blessings are with you. He didn't curse him. He blessed him. With the blessings of his Guru, the disciple went out and quickly found a beautiful girl to marry. Not only that, in that 10 years period, he had 3 beautiful children. Not only that, he became financially successful. From the worldly point of view, he has a quite grand success. After 10 years, there is a knock on the door of their home. The disciple's wife opened it to see a haggard-looking beggar standing on the doorstep. The beggar asked to see her husband. As usual, she started scolding the beggar, thinking that he was just there to beg for money. But by then the husband came. He realized that the beggar was not really beggar, he was his Guru, who was told that he would come after 10 years. So he lovingly invited him inside. Then the Guru says, well, my child, I have come to take you away from this world of illusions now, that you have fulfilled your desire of having a wife, having a family, and earnings. Now come along with me. Let me show you the way to God. But the man was not ready yet. He looked at his Guru pitifully and said, my dear beloved Guru, yes, you are right. You have given me my 10 years ever so generously, and with your blessings I have prospered. I have enjoyed my life, but my children are very young. And not only that, my wife is again with child. She would not be able to handle the burden of all of them alone. So please allow me to stay another 10 years until the children are old enough to care for themselves. Here is the point you should note. He was not a rash Guru who would simply order him, get out, get away from this, come away. No. He was a very pious Guru, and he knew how to lead this man. He knew how to uplift this man from this moribund situation. A true Guru will guide you to the path, show you the light, and help when help is required, but will never force a disciple against the disciple's will to follow any particular path. So the man's Guru compassionately agreed, then said, well, that's all right. Don't get agitated. So be it, my son. Take another 10 years until you feel that your mission is fulfilled. The man was so happy that Guru had not punished him. On the other hand, he was so gracious to allow him 10 more years. After 10 years, there was a knock on the door of their home. The man's wife opened it to see a haggard-looking beggar standing on the doorstep. The beggar asked to see her husband. As usual, she began to scold him, thinking that he has come for begging money. But the husband realized that the beggar was really his Guru, so he lovingly invited him inside. The Guru, after 10 years, that is now after 20 years now, first 10 years is over, after second 10 years he has come, to find a large bulldog out front guarding the house. Bulldog. So the Guru could immediately recognize his disciple in the dog and saw with his divine vision that the man had passed away several years prior, but due to his intense protectiveness over his family and wealth, He had reincarnated as a guard dog. He had become a dog. The Guru put his hand on the dog's head and said, "My child, now that you have regressed from a human to a dog due to your attachment to these worldly things, are you finally ready to come with me?" So the Guru is asking, after 20 years, first 10 years, the man had enjoyed with wealth, family, etc. Now he has assumed the bulldog form. When the Guru asked this question, the dog licked the hand of his Guru lovingly and said, "My beloved Guruji, you are right. That it is my own attachment which has driven me to take birth as a dog. But you see, my children have many enemies who are envious of their wealth and power. These enemies are very dangerous to my children, and so I must stay here to protect them. However, I am sure that within a few years everything will sort itself out, and then they will be fine. So please give me just 7 more years to protect them. Then I am yours." So this fellow, first he asked for 10 years for having some pleasures and family and children. Then afterwards he wanted 10 years more. In that period he passed away, he became a bulldog, and Guru could recognize him, and when he asked him to come away, he wanted again 7 more years to protect his children from enemies, guarding the wealth, etc. The Guru was very gracious. He was compassionate also. So he gave him 7 years more. All right, have 7 years more. Then after 7 years he came again. This time there was no dog out front, and the home was filled with grandchildren running around. The Guru closed his eyes and saw with his divine vision that his disciple had taken birth in the form of a cobra, wedged into the wall near the family safe to guard the money. He called the grandchildren of the house. "My children," he said. The Guru said, "In the wall to the right of your safe, there's a cobra curled up in a small nook. Go there and bring the cobra to me. Don't kill it. It will not harm you, I promise. But just break its back with a stick and then bring it to me." The children were incredulous, but went to the wall where the old man had directed them. Incredibly, they saw that, just as the Guru had said, a cobra was curled up in the wall. Following his orders, they broke the cobra's back and carried it outside to the Guru. The Guru thanked the children, threw the cobra over his neck and left. As he walked away, carrying the cobra over his neck, the Guru spoke to the cobra, who was injured and aching. The Guru addresses him, "My child, I am sorry for hurting you, but there was no other way. 27 years and 3 births ago, you left to taste the material world of sensual pleasures. But the ways of Maya are so alluring and so subtle that they trap us instantly. You have wasted these lifetimes in the futile pursuit of material success and in attachment to people who also are only actors in the cosmic drama. My child, all here is Maya, cosmic illusion. It lures us into its trap, convincing us that it is real, permanent, everlasting, and significant. But in reality, the only thing which is real is Him. And the only true purpose of life is to get close to Him. These attachments merely divert our attention and focus away from the true purpose of life. I had no choice but to come to your rescue as I saw you sinking deeper and deeper into the deep clutches of Maya. So frequently in life we think, just one more year, then I will cut back on my luxuries and cut back on my time at the office. Just one more year, and I will dedicate more time to meditation and spiritual pursuits. Just one more year, and then I will go to India, sit at my Guru's feet, and delve into the divine depths of spirituality. Just one more year, and then I will cut down on my sensual pleasures, and on and on. But that one more year never comes. Our intentions are good. We want to be more spiritual. We want to devote more time to spiritual pursuits. We want to spend less, need less, and serve more. We want to be the master over our lust, anger and greed rather than vice versa. But the power of Maya is stronger than the power of our will. Thus we continue to find excuses for why we must continue to work 50 or 60 hour work weeks. Why we still have no time for meditation. Why we can't squeeze a visit to the holy places of India into our years planning. And why we must continue to satiate our insatiable sensual urges. The only way to break free from the veil of illusion that Maya wraps around our minds is to surrender to God and beg Him to show us the true light. The only way to break free is to make and stick to concrete vows of how we are going to be better people next year. Rather than saying, I'll find time to meditate, you must say, I will not live for work without sitting in meditation, and I will not sleep at night without doing my nightly introspection. Rather than saying, I will try to come to India and visit holy places whenever I can, we must say, I will take my vacation this year in India and nowhere else. Rather than say, I will try to cut back on my expenses so that my financial needs are less. We must say, I will not buy another jacket or pair of shoes or anything until the ones that I have are broken, torn, or no longer fit me. Rather than say, I will try to overcome my anger, lust and greed. We must commit to having daily appointments with God in which we introspect on all the times we allowed ourselves to be overpowered by these emotions. And we must pray for strength daily to remain calm, peaceful and sattvic in our lives. Sri Ramakrishna says in the Gospel, the bound souls are tied to the world by the fetters of lust and gold. They are bound hand and foot, thinking that lust and gold will make them happy and give them security. They do not realize that will lead them to annihilation. When a man thus bound to the world is about to die, his wife asks, "You are about to go, but what have you done for me?" Again, such is his attachment to things of the world that when he sees the lamp burning brightly, he says, "Dim the light, too much oil is being used." And he is on his deathbed. The bound souls never think of God. If they get in leisure, what do? They indulge in idle gossip and foolish talk, or they engage in fruitless work. If you ask one of them the reason, he answers, "Oh, I can't keep still, so I am making a hedge." When time hangs heavy on their hands, they perhaps start playing cards. There was deep silence in the room. The devotee asked a question. "Master, is there no help then for such a worldly person?" Sri Ramakrishna answered, "Certainly there is." We shall stop here. We will continue the same topic next Tuesday. I am starting the new chapter, chapter 50, the Master and Buddha. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Narendra, Kali, Niranjan and M were talking downstairs in the Kasipur garden house. Niranjan said to M, "It is true that Vidyasagar is going to open a new school. Why don't you try to secure employment there for Naren?" Narendra said, "I have had enough of service under Vidyasagar." Narendra had just returned from a visit to Bodh Gaya, where he had gone with Kali and Tarak. In that sacred place he had been absorbed in deep meditation before the image of Buddha. He had paid his respects to the Bodhi tree, which is an offshoot of the original tree under which Buddha attained nirvana. Kali said, "One day at Gaya, at Umesh Babu's house, Narendra sang many classical songs to the accompaniment of the mridanga. Sri Ramakrishna sat on his bed in the big hall upstairs. It was evening. M was alone in the room and fanning the master. Latu came in a little later. Master said to M, "Please bring a chadar for me and a pair of slippers." M said, "Yes, sir." Master said to Latu, "The chadar will cost 10 annas. And the slippers, what will be the total cost?" Latu said, 1 rupee and 10 annas. Sri Ramakrishna asked M by a sign to note the price. Narendra entered the room and took a seat. Shashi, Rakhal and 1 or 2 other devotees came in. The master asked Narendra to stroke his feet. He also asked him whether he had taken his meal. Master smilingly said to him, "He went there," referring to Bodh Gaya. M said to Narendra, "What are the doctrines of Buddha?" Narendra said, he could not express in words what he had realized by his tapasya. So people say he was an atheist. Master, by signs, asked, "Why atheist?" He was not an atheist. He simply could not express his inner experiences in words. Do you know what Buddha means? It is to become one with Bodha, pure intelligence. by meditating on that which is of the nature of pure intelligence. It is to become pure intelligence itself. Narendra said, yes sir. There are three classes of Buddhas: Buddha, Arhat and Bodhisattva. Master said, this too is a sport of God himself, a new Leela of God. Why should Buddha be called an atheist? When one realizes Swarupa, the true nature of oneself, one attains a state that is something between Asti, is, and Nasti, is not. Narendra said to him, it's a state in which contradictions meet. A combination of hydrogen and oxygen produces cool water, and same hydrogen and oxygen are used in the oxy-hydrogen blowpipe. In that state, both activity and non-activity are possible. That is to say, one then performs unselfish action. Worldly people who are engrossed in sense objects say that everything exists, asti. But the Mayavadis, the illusionists, say that nothing exists, nasti. The experience of a Buddha is beyond both existence and non-existence. We shall stop here. Any questions to ask about? Waste no more time. See, the idea of comparison is there given is to impress upon us the way to progress. But gradually, by undergoing some spiritual disciplines, you rise from one state to another state. That's all the purpose what Lord Krishna is meant by that. It's not the idea of comparing superiority in such things. No. It is raising a person stage by stage. A beginner has to go from the lower stage of following rituals, following work duties, performing, etc. And then he should rise slowly to the next stage of meditation. And slowly he will be rising to the level of acquiring knowledge. So knowledge comes only when the mind has become thoroughly pure. Then only you will develop intuitive knowledge. The intellect becomes sharp only through preliminary disciplines practiced. So they are all connected that way. It's only with the idea of showing how people have to go stage by stage. The verse is given like that. But the ultimate understanding should be that knowledge is the ultimate. Because what is knowledge? You know what it is. To know means knowledge. To experience is knowledge. To experience that this is God, that is knowledge. So that is the highest in that respect. So that knowledge cannot be acquired immediately unless you pass through love of knowledge. You must love the object. Then only it leads you towards that. So the love makes you to undergo certain disciplines to reach that state. So bhakti means love of God. When you love of God, God gives you everything. It gives you knowledge, it gives you everything, more than what you want. That's the idea. Any more? Manjusha Devi? All right. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name that bought for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, and each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrated at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous reign in tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy, may the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.